Yesterday, as of writing this, Halo Infinite's campaign was released for the world to play, and me, being the weird person that I am, decided that I wanted to play it too, considering I played every Halo campaign on release to date, even if I can't really remember anything that happened in Halo 5. With that said, I wanted to try playing it in a different way. What you see before you isn't exactly what I saw, but the inverse. There. That looks better. What I saw was the exact 180-degree rotation of what was happening. This creates a ton of small issues in gameplay, especially since I have yet to actually see the game yet. So, how did it go? Before jumping in, I did want to mention a few things. First, this is just the beginning of the game, everything before the open world stuff really begins. I didn't really have much time this week, so I couldn't play that much. That said, future parts will come out as soon as I have a little bit more time. Secondly, this whole journey is being streamed on my Twitch, where I go to be punished by crazy ideas and people. Third, please subscribe if you like the content. As I said, future parts of this will come out. Okay, now that the boring stuff is out of the way, let's take a look at what challenges this brought about and why I would not recommend experiencing a game like this for the first time. So, disregarding that every cutscene is silly to watch and that the subtitles are basically never going to be read by me, the rest of the game actually wasn't that bad. I found myself able to somewhat navigate around, even if the entire environment had no meaning, since I couldn't tell what anything was supposed to be. The real problem was just finding enemies. I'm betting when they designed this, they did not exactly expect somebody's first interaction with this game to be the dumbest thing that they could have done altogether. Some of the major issues in the first level were finding my way around and locating enemies. Luckily for me, the radar has this little cone on it that allows me to adapt pretty easily. So a +1 on the UI actually helping. Everything was mostly fine, if not slow, until the end of the mission. See, I'm supposed to be running pretty quickly, but there's this outdoor section that, after looking at the footage later, looks really simple. But here, just watch. Wants me to grapple. Dude, this is like some of the... This is honestly like some of the weirdest... I actually don't know how I got so far on the first attempt, because it took me almost another 5 to get back there, but I did eventually get through it. After that, I was through and could view the ring with my own eyes. So after getting a ride, I fought off an elite for the first time and continued to make my way forward. Honestly, the claustrophobic corridors actually make the challenge a lot easier, but I was still wandering in random directions. Some of my fights were just bad, as aiming at any dodging targets is basically impossible. If I were to rank enemies at this point in the game from easiest to hardest, I would say grunts are the easiest, followed by brutes, the jackals without shields, then the elites are the second hardest, and the hardest were easily the jackals with the shields. Just precision aiming was a problem. But eventually, I found a new way to fight jackals by using the grapple shot, which I will continue to call the hook shot just because of Ocarina of Time Randomizer. Eventually, I found the new Cortana AI, and together we found a callback to the Fall of Reach, and apparently 343i just can't separate themselves from overly using this. But I go back on my way.
We've got company, Chief. Meet me at the plinth up ahead.
The what? You want me to meet you where?
Surprise, human!
Okay, surprise.
I found myself mostly wanting to use precision weapons, as 1 or 2 lucky shots would kill an enemy instead of me needing to track them while shooting. At the same time, new dangers just weren't always apparent. I guess we're 1 shot dead. After fighting forward, I called an elevator.
It's already on its way down.
That's not a good thing, ma'am.
Incoming.
But what if it's a friend?
It's never a friend.
It isn't.
Okay, it might be because I'm playing this on easy, but the lack of movement made this fight, well, really easy. I then took the elevator up and went outside, which is a completely different set of problems. When navigating inside, I typically use a combination of the ground and ceiling to keep my bearings. I don't know if you know this, but outside there's no ceiling. So I generally opted to stay in or around buildings. But outside of 1 ambush, things really didn't get that bad. I destroyed my enemies and cleared my first operating base. And that's as far as I got in my first session. If you want to see the rest of this, I'll be streaming it over on my Twitch starting next week, probably around December 13th. That's if you want to see me struggle live. You can feel free to stop by. Otherwise, have a nice day, and thank you for watching.
Did you find the weapon you were looking for?